Hello and welcome to another episode of Short and Sweet TV. In this episode we'll be looking at Photoshop and how you can set your documents up from scratch. So the document we'll be working on today is for a skyscraper advertisement, so a banner ad for web, and we'll be looking at the sort of things you need to consider when you're creating a document for web. Alright, so let's get started. We can go up to File, New to create our document. And I'll just call this the skyscraper ad. Alright, so starting from the top, we've got our presets here. Now, if I click on this drop down, you've got a whole bunch of presets that relate to the different uses of Photoshop. You may be using it to create some apps, so for design for apps on mobiles and devices. You could be using it for print, in which case you might use some of these paper sizes. You can see if I change it to international paper, it just gives me a bunch of internationally recognized paper sizes from this drop down here. But I'm not doing it for print, I'm going to create something for web, so I'm going to click on this drop down and take it down to the web options, which then gives me a whole bunch of presets underneath the size drop down. Now most of these actually relate to the screen size up here at the top, the resolution, and then underneath we've got some default settings here, so rectangles. We've actually got the wide skyscraper size here, 160 by 600. Well, I'm actually going to make my document that size, so I'll select it. You can actually customize this if you want to. You could make it taller or wider if need be. Now, because I've set it up for web, what it's also done is created selected a resolution of 72 pixels per inch, and that's the standard resolution when you're working on web documents. You don't need it any larger than that. You certainly don't want to go any smaller because things will start to look pixelated if you do. And then the color mode, we've got selected as RGB because we work in the red, green and blue color mode when we're working online. Finally, I've got a background. If I wanted to create a transparent background, then I can click on the drop down from here and choose transparency. Or I've also got the option to create a colored background. Now that colored background will be based on whatever color swatch is sitting in the background over here in the tool panel. At the moment I've got black selected there, so I'd end up with a black background layer if I chose that. I'm going to keep it set to white. Okay, so we can get started. I can click OK on that. Before I do that, with the preset options, I can actually save these settings as a preset. If I'm doing the same sort of work time and time again, it can be a good idea to save this as a preset, and then that way next time I open up a document or create a new document in Photoshop, it will be available from here, so you can actually create your own custom presets. So that's a handy time-saving technique. Alright, so we can just click OK on this, and I'm into my new document and I'm ready to start adding some content and get working. So hopefully you found this tutorial helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next short and sweet Adobe TV tutorial.